Chapter 13 of Short Stories for Short People. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Short Stories for Short People by Alicia, Stuart, Aspinwall. Chapter 13. Monkey Tricks in the Jungle. This is the story of a little gray elephant. He was not a circus elephant, but lived at his home, which was far, far away in Africa. If you or I had been there, we should have found many strange, interesting things to see. But the elephant cared not for them. He only knew that this was home, and the place where his big gray mamma and he lived happily together. His mother was very kind and allowed him to go wherever he liked, and his likes took him sometimes far from his home, for he was a great walker. His trunk he always kept with him, in readiness for his journeys. One day he bade his mother good-bye and started out on a long, long tramp. He passed many gorgeous flowers that you or I should have picked, had we been there. The air was alive with the cries of strange creatures, and beautiful birds were constantly flying by him, their brilliant green, crimson, and orange plumage almost too dazzling to look at. But the elephant paid not the slightest attention to them. We never noticed sparrows, and to him these gorgeous birds were simply sparrows, and he had seen them all his life. On and on he went. Once he heard a low, threatening growl, a rustling in the bushes, and he turned quickly back, choosing another path. He was much frightened, for well he knew that low sound meant that a lion was near. His face grew fairly gray with fright. At least it would have done so, had it not already been so very gray. But he heard no more from the lion. Soon he began to feel tired and hungry. "I will lunch," said he, and choosing a cool, comfortable place under the shade of a big palm tree, he began. He had chicken sandwiches, pickles, French fried potatoes, custard pie, caramels. No, I fear I have made a mistake. That was not exactly the luncheon that this little African elephant had, after all. He had, well, to tell the truth, I am not quite sure what he did have, but I know that it was good. He finished with a long draught of the delicious jungle ade. Please don't ask me how to make this, as it can only be made correctly in Africa. Just as he was finishing, he heard a chattering, and looking up saw a mischievous little monkey sitting overhead and swinging himself lazily back and forth on a branch. He had bent a very thirsty eye upon what remained of the jungle ade, and the elephant, seeing this, said cordially, "Have some?" He was a generous soul, and then also he had really had as much jungle ade as it was possible for one young elephant to drink. The monkey seized the cup, and there was soon no jungle ade. "Elephant, that was delicious, and I am sure I thank you very much," said he. "And now can I not in return do something for you?" "Yes, you can. A gnat has just bitten me," said the elephant sadly. "Really?" said the monkey. "Well, you are not the first one who has been bitten by a gnat." "But he bit me on my back," said the elephant, "where it is impossible for me to scratch. I have tried and tried, but alas, it is just out of reach of my trunk. Now, monkey, if you will scratch it for me, I shall be greatly obliged." And the monkey did. But alas, the naughty little fellow did it too well, for he scratched and scratched and scratched and scratched. "Stop, stop, stop!" yelled the elephant. "Oh no," said the monkey. "I am sharpening my nails beautifully, and I don't want to stop." "I will punish you," said the elephant. But the monkey only laughed at his threat. "You told me yourself that you could not reach this spot," and on he scratched, for I am sorry to say that he was far from being a good monkey. "That may be so, but I know what I can do," said the elephant. I can take you home to my mamma, who can and will reach for you shall be punished for your naughtiness." And without more ado, he started. I wish, children, we could have been there to see that elephant run, for he fairly flew. He kept to no path, but dashed on, crushing the flowers, breaking the branches of the trees, in his headlong flight. Scurry, scurry went the animals out of his path, and all the birds and insects fairly bumped against each other in their eagerness to get away from this mad rushing creature. They scarcely knew what he was, so fast he flew, and the monkey clung closely to him, his teeth chattering with fear. "If I fall, I may be killed, and if I manage to stick on, I know I shall be, when we get to his home. Oh, what shall I do? What shall I do?" he wailed. It was truly not a pleasant outlook for any monkey, now was it? But deliverance was at hand, for there right before him was a low-hanging branch. "Can I but reach that? Am I safe?" he thought. They are near it, are at it, one spring gives the monkey, and hurrah, reaches it, and grasping it firmly, swings himself up to safety. Climbing to the topmost branch, he yells derisively to the fast disappearing elephant, "Stupid little elephant, big-eared elephant, waddling elephant, wrinkles on your skin, silly little elephant, bob-tailed elephant, you can't catch a monkey, you no-count thing," which was, on the monkey's part, most reprehensible, and which I am happy to say was unheard by the elephant, who, meanwhile, quite unconscious of what had happened, flew on. "Wait," he said, "we are almost there, and your punishment is coming, bad monkey." Soon the home was reached, and there stood his mother. "Mamma, mamma," he shouted, "take him off quickly and punish him, for he has been very naughty." "What do you mean, child?" said she. "Punish whom?" "Why, the monkey who is sitting on my back." "There is no monkey on your back." "What? No monkey?" screamed the elephant. His mother, meanwhile, came nearer and, looking him closely in the face, said sternly, "My son, did you have jungle-ade with your luncheon?" "Yes," he faltered, for he knew his mother had forbidden him to touch it. "Then," said she, "I am not surprised that you talk of monkeys. Go to bed at once, and without your supper." So it was the poor little elephant who had the punishment, and to this day he cannot imagine what could have become of that monkey. End of chapter 13.